Hello everyone, welcome back to Blue Beans Not So Daily Exposing Our Classmates. I'm Yuki. One time, my best friend, let's call her Maya, and I were just chatting after class. Out of nowhere, a boy we'll call Leo came up behind her and tried to snatch her phone. Maya immediately yelled at him and grabbed it back. A teacher saw what happened and gave him detention. Honestly, I don't understand what makes someone think it's okay to grab other people's belongings like that. Another time, Maya, a few other girls, Ariana, Chloe, and Brielle, and I were changing after PE when some boys tried to open the locker room door as a joke. Thankfully, one of the girls quickly placed a chair against the door so they couldn't get in. There was also a moment when Maya and I were walking down the hallway, and Leo walked past us and put his hand on her backside. I immediately told him to back off. Then, instead of apologizing, he mocked me and walked away. And then there was the rumor incident. One day, I was talking with my boy best friend, let's call him Miles, about my crush. Leo overheard part of the conversation but didn't catch who I was actually talking about. Later, in the middle of class, he randomly shouted, "Yuki has a crush on Ethan." I tried explaining to everyone that it wasn't true and that I would never like him that way. Even now, some people still ship us, even though the rumor was completely made up. After the whole rumor situation, things were quiet for a while. Or, at least, I thought they were. One afternoon during group work, Maya and I were paired with Leo and another boy. We'll call him Dylan. Instead of actually helping with the assignment, they kept whispering and laughing. At first, we ignored it. But then Dylan said, "Careful, Ethan might get jealous." And both of them started laughing. It was immature and honestly just annoying at that point. A few days later, during lunch, my friend group, Maya, Ariana, Chloe, Brielle, and another friend we'll call Naomi, were sitting together when Leo walked past our table and dramatically started singing a love song while looking at me. It wasn't even subtle. Some people at nearby tables laughed, and I just felt embarrassed. I told him to stop, but he pretended he didn't know what I was talking about. Then there was the hallway incident. Maya accidentally bumped into Leo while rushing to class. Instead of just saying, "It's fine," like a normal person, he loudly said, "Wow, can't wait to tell Ethan you're jealous." It didn't even make sense. At that point, it was obvious he just enjoyed getting reactions out of people. The most frustrating part? When teachers are around, he acts completely different. If you didn't know better, you'd think he was the nicest person ever. Overall, he's just an attention seeker.
Hi, I'm Cookie, and this is a little story time from when I was in first grade. I'm in third grade now, living my best life. But this memory, it still lives in my head rent-free. So picture this. It's a totally normal Friday. My teacher was pregnant at the time, so we had substitutes a lot. That day, we had one I'm going to call Miss Maple. Miss Maple was supposed to be watching us, and technically she was, except for the times she very much wasn't. She'd glance up every now and then, but most of the time she was sitting at her desk, scrolling on her phone like she was at home. Now let me introduce Sage. Sage and I had a weird relationship. He was kind of my bully, but also kind of my friend. You know those people who are nice one day and annoying the next. So while Miss Maple was distracted, Sage decided it was the perfect time to start something. And by something, I mean he started hitting me out of nowhere. Now listen, I'm Cookie. If someone is trying to hurt me, I'm not just going to sit there. So yes, I defended myself. We went back and forth, and the whole time I'm thinking, is the teacher going to do anything? Nope. Miss Maple was still sitting there, on her phone. The argument kept going, and then I cannot make this up, Sage tried to throw a chair at me. A whole chair. Like, sir, what are we for real? It was near the end of the day, so eventually everything just stopped. Honestly, the most shocking part was how no adult stepped in. But wait, there's more. A week later, I'm at lunch with my friend Luna. We're just eating, minding our business, when Luna decides to become a breaking news reporter. She starts telling everyone at our table and even the table next to us Cookie and Sage got into a fight, and Sage won. Excuse me. First of all, she saw what happened. She watched the whole thing and didn't step in. Second of all, who even asked? So I told her, "Girl, mind your business. You saw him start it, and you didn't do anything, so I don't want to hear it." Then she goes, "Oh, I fight people too." Now, I'm not trying to be mean, but I had literally seen her try to fight someone before, and she ended up on the ground. It was not the flex she thought it was. After the whole Friday fight situation with Sage and the chair that shall not be named, I thought it was over. Wrong. The next week, our actual teacher was still out, so guess who we had again? Yup, Miss Maple. And let me just say, the classroom was tense. Now Sage wasn't throwing hands anymore, but he had switched strategies. Instead of fighting, he started doing that thing where someone tries to annoy you on purpose. Poking, tapping my desk, whispering random stuff. And every time I turned around, he'd be like, "What? I didn't do anything. Mate, please." I tried to ignore him because I was not about to have Friday part 2. But here's where it gets interesting. Luna decided she was my protector. One day during recess, she walks up to Sage and goes, "If you mess with Cookie again, you're going to have to deal with me." Now, mind you, this is the same Luna who told the entire cafeteria that Sage won, so I'm standing there like, oh, now we're switching sides. Sage just laughed, not in a mean way, just like, okay, and surprisingly walked off. He stopped after that. Later that week, Sage actually came up to me during break and said, "Sorry for fighting you. I didn't know what to say at first." I mean, this was the same person who tried to launch classroom furniture at me. But I just said, okay. And we kind of left it like that. We were never best friends, but we weren't enemies anymore either.
Hi everyone, call me Ariel. This is my story. One day in class, I was quietly drawing and minding my own business when a kid named Jay came over and asked what I was doing. I told him I was drawing and continued with my day. At first, he walked away and did his own thing too. Later, when the whole class was talking, Jay came back and asked to borrow my felt tip pens. I said no because they were expensive. Before I could even react, he grabbed them without my permission. Of course, I was upset, but I didn't say anything because I didn't want to cause a big scene. When he finally gave them back, he wouldn't leave me alone. After a while, he started making unfunny jokes and being loud and annoying. I remember telling him to stop, but instead of listening, he completely overreacted and decided it would be a great idea to break my backpack. It was a wheeled backpack, and he damaged it on purpose. On top of that, my teacher, Miss Carter, often forces me to look her in the eyes while she's talking and emotionally pressures me if I don't. Anyway, that's my story. Ariel out.
Hey, my awesome blue stars, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure to like the video and subscribe if you haven't already. Make sure to comment with blue hearts if you've reached this far. And also mention whose story was your favorite. Peace out, my awesome blue stars. Bye.